Hello everyone, this is part 1 of What If Naruto Fell in Love with Hinata in High School. This story is made by Pokefreak59, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, to share, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Join my membership, the perks are great. It's in the description. Be sure to like and subscribe, it gives me more motivation. Enjoy. First day at a new school and I'm gonna be late. Naruto shouted as he ran down the street in the pouring rain. He had spiky blonde hair and had 3 whisker-like marks on his cheeks. He had woken up late and now had to run to his new school, Konohai. There it is, he said as he ran across the street. He shut his eyes and ran as fast as he could and ran through the gates. Ouch! He and a girl shouted. He had run into her and they both had fallen down. Unfortunately, he had fallen into the mud behind him and the girl had fallen into a puddle. The girl had long lavender blue hair and was very nicely figured. I'm sorry. Naruto apologized, rubbing the back of his head. No, I'm sorry. The girl had gotten up and looked into his eyes. She immediately began to turn red and feel lightheaded. Are you feeling alright? Naruto asked, helping her up. You look red, are you sick or something? I gotta go. The girl about-faced and ran into the school. Weird girl. Naruto stared at her for a while before realizing that he was still late. Crap. He ran inside the school. He relaxed for a while and dried off a bit. Well, might as well get going. First I gotta get to the principal's office and get my schedule. He can't be any worse than Sarutobi. Naruto laughed. That old bastard was always out to get me. He walked around the school, going up and down the hallways, looking through every window of every door trying to find the office before realizing that he was lost. My god, he shouted, grabbing his hair. This school is too huge. How am I gonna find the office? There's no security guards, or teachers, or anything. Shush, a voice from behind him said. There are classes in session right now. It was a teacher by the looks of it. She had on a blue business suit, she had short brown hair that reached her chin. What's the problem? Sorry, I'm just lost. Today is my first day here and I can't find the principal's office for my schedule. Naruto explained himself. Oh, come with me then. She gave him a warm smile. Naruto smiled back and ran over to her. No running in the halls. She shouted at him, and made him stop. I thought she said no shouting. Naruto walked over to her instead. He was led to the office just outside the principal's room. It was a plain and boring office, a table in the corner with tons of papers stacked on and around it, and a few seats against the wall for people waiting. Boring. I've been here 20 minutes and nothing. Just then the phone rang and Shizune picked it up. Okay, fine, was all she said and told Naruto to go in. Finally, he sighed and walked inside. The first thing he saw was a pair of BS resting on top of the desk. Huge. The woman said, if you've had a good enough look, I'm up here. She pointed to herself. She had blonde hair tied up in the back and amber green eyes. Sorry. Naruto brought his eyes up to hers. What's your name? Naruto asked. I should be asking yours. She pounded her fist on the desk, making some of the papers float down. Naruto Uzumaki. He answered, I'm a new student and. Your schedule? Yeah. She turned to her computer and typed in a few things. By the way, my name is Tsunade. Nice to meet you. Naruto smiled at her. Just keep being friendly. This is a new school, new town. I get to start over here, gotta be the nice guy in this school. No more suspensions or anything. And print. She hit the enter button. What's wrong? She raised an eyebrow. Print. For the love of God, print. She shouted, pushing a stack of papers off the desk and picking up the chair, getting ready to throw it. Naruto fell out of his chair in fear and crawled backwards to the door. Tsunade, the paper prints in the other room, remember. Shizune burst through the door, papers in hand. Oh, I forgot. She laughed as if nothing had happened. Go with Shizune here, she'll walk you to your first class. She sat back down. Naruto nodded and crawled out the room. Is she always like that? Naruto gulped. Only when she's mad. She gave him that warm smile again. Come, your class is right down this hallway. She walked down the hallway with him. And this your English class? She handed him the schedule. Have good first day, she said and left. Thanks. Naruto took a deep breath and closed his eyes. Here goes, just be nice to them and don't start any fights. He opened the door and stepped inside. Why you covered in mud? Some kid shouted the moment he stepped in, causing the whole class to look at him and start laughing. Goo. Messed up already. His cheeks turned a lie red. Be quiet or it's detention for all of you. The teacher shouted. How can I help you? He turned to Naruto. I'm a new student to this school, this is supposed to be my first class. Naruto handed him his schedule. He took it and nodded. I see, alright nice oh have you aboard. My name's Aruka. You can start introducing yourself to everyone. Naruto faced the class and saw all the new faces. All of them were staring right back at him except for one girl who had her head face down on the desk. My name is Naruto Uzumaki, nice to meet you. After that there was silence. What now? Now let's find you a seat. He looked around the class for a quick second. Hinata. Why yes sensei. The girl who had her head face down practically shouted. That's the girl from this morning. She still looks kinda red. Maybe she's sick. Geez Hinata, calm down. The boy sitting next to her said. He had black hair that was tied back, and he had squinty eyes. I know you're shy, but you don't need to shout. Sit in front of her Naruto. Aruka pointed. Naruto nodded and took his seat. Hinata gulped when he took his seat. Why is my heart beating so fast? Is it possible that I'm in love? Naruto turned in his seat. Hinata was it. You're breathing kind of hard. Are you sick or something? Eep. She yelped and fainted on her desk. Where am I? Hinata awoke in the nurse's office on the bed. Excuse me miss, what happened to me? She asked the red-haired nurse. Well, apparently you fainted in the middle of class. The nurse responded. How long have I been out? It's been about 25 minutes since your classmate brought you here. I take it he's a new student, cause he said he was running around the school trying to find this place. As soon as the nurse said that, Hinata started to turn red. He had blonde hair and was wearing dirty pants. I had to force him to return to class. He thinks that you've been sick since this morning cause your face was red even then. By this point Hinata had buried her face with her pillow to hide her beet red face. Are you feeling sick again? The nurse asked her. No ma'am, I'm feeling great, she said from behind her pillow. The nurse gave her a puzzled look. Well alright. Rest a bit more and then go back to class. After a few minutes her face returned to its original color. I'm feeling better now. I'm going back to class now miss. She got up and stretched. As she got up to grab her stuff, the clinic's door slowly opened. Hey, how's she doing? I thought I'd stop by on my way to my next class. Naruto said as he walked into the room. Hinata, shocked at hearing his voice, turned around and saw his face. Hey Hinata, you're up. Are you feeling any better? Naruto asked her. Hinata was silent, and fell back down on the bed. Guess not. Tell her I stopped by. And he walked out the door to his next class. He looked at his schedule as he walked down the crowded hallways. My next class is Great PE. Where the heck is that? He roamed the hallways bumping into every student, making turns wherever he could until he finally found the locker rooms. Somehow, I found it. He walked into the locker rooms and everyone was already changing into their PE uniforms. Guess I'll need a uniform too. Where do I get it? Hey, that kid was in my last class. I'll just ask him. Hey buddy, mind if I ask you something? Naruto said as he went walking to the kid with his hair tied behind his back. The name's Shikamaru. If you want a uniform you're gonna have to wait until we go to the track and ask the teacher there. He coldly responded. How'd ya know what I was gonna ask you? You're new here, so it's kinda obvious what you would say. Just put your stuff down anywhere and head to the track outside. He responded. Alright, thanks I guess. Naruto said, dumbfounded. Naruto stood out in the crowd of boys, being the only one still in his black school jacket and pants. Man, it's hot, he said as he rolled up his sleeves and unbuttoned his jacket. Guess all I gotta do now is wait for the coach. Naruto turned around to see if he could see him, but instead he saw a swarm of girls heading towards the track. Whoa, girls, in short shorts. He stared at them as they walked towards the boys. Look at them. Some have nice figures, others just have a cute face. I love this class, he thought with a perverted face. He stopped staring when they got close. Naruto turned to the left and saw a tall man in a green jumpsuit with a ridiculous haircut and thick eyebrows running up to the class. Hey everybody, life treating you good? The guy said while giving a thumb up to the class. Yes, guy sensei. The class responded by also giving a thumbs up. That's great, hey blondes. He yelled pointing at Naruto, why aren't you giving the nice pose? And where's your uniform? Naruto, lost in what the class was doing, responded by saying, huh. Me. No. The other blonde kid that's not dressed out. A kid with mid-length black hair passed by him rudely said. He walked by the girls who all yelled happily when he walked by them. Naruto watched him walk by. Who's that guy? That's Sasuke Uchiha. He thinks he's hot stuff just 'cause the girls drool over him. Thank God we only have to put up with him for 3 months. Shikamaru told Naruto as he walked up behind him. Hey blons. Show me some respect, I'm talking to you here. Guy angrily shouted at Naruto as he raised his fist in the air. Sorry sensei. What's with him and making poses? He ran over to Guy. I'm a new student here, I just started today, so I don't have a uniform yet. I see, Guy said rubbing his chin, in that case sit class out for today. I'll be sure to get you a uniform by the end of class, if not by the beginning of next class. Now go sit over there and enjoy you youth, he said pointing to a patch of trees behind the gates leading to the track away from the rest of the class. As for the rest of ya, it rained heavily this morning so the track is a bit slippery. So just for today you'll only have to do 50 laps. Lee, feel like leading the rest of the class today. A thin boy stepped out of the crowd of boys. He was almost an exact replica of Guy. He had the same bushy eyebrows, haircut, and even wore the same jumpsuit as his teacher. Sir, yes sir, he shouted saluting his teacher. He began to run in place. Hut, 2, 3. Hut, 2, 3. Ready, go. And he started to sprint off while the rest of the class chased after him. Naruto stood there watching them run. Did he say, 50 laps? What kind class is this? Soon he started to walk over to the trees. The trees were so thick their shade almost made it look like night. Naruto went under a tree and leaned against it. This feels nice. Guess I'm stuck here till class is over. He looked down to his pants and wiped most of the mud off. Why didn't I do that before? He leaned back on the cool shade and watched the class run around the track countless times. Hinata slowly opened her eyes and said softly. Not again. Miss, I didn't faint again, did I? She asked the nurse. I'm afraid so, she said while reading a magazine. I wonder what could have caused you to do that. I took your temperature, but you don't have a fever or anything. Are you feeling well enough to back to class? Oh my god, I'm late for class. Goodbye miss. Hinata cried out as she grabbed her bag and ran off. She ran down the corridors and opened the locker room doors. She was glad that no other girls were there to poke fun of her large BS. She quickly changed out of her navy blue skirt and white short sleeve shirt into her PE uniform. Oh boy, I'm so late. I hope he doesn't make me run the laps. I didn't wear a sports bra today. People will stare my chest again. I don't like being the center of attention, she thought as she hurried to the track. Before she could even get close to the track, a voice called out to her. Hey Hinata. Guy called to her. She looked over at him. Please don't make me run. Please don't make me run. Yes, sensei. You're late. Where were you? I'm sorry. I fainted in my last class, so I was taken to the nurse. I just woke up a little while ago. Please, please, please. He came in close to her and looked at her face. You seem a little red. Sit this class out. Don't worry. He turned and walked away. Thank you. Thank God. Now I just got to find a place to sit for the rest of class. Hey, those trees are giving off shade. I can cool off under there. She walked over to the trees and noticed a figure leaning against the tree. I wonder who that could be. She slowly moved in a bit closer to see who it was. When she saw who it was, she covered her face and ran behind the furthest tree from Naruto. How many times am I gonna run into him today? Calm down, Hinata. Pull yourself together. Think, what should I do? Stand here. Go talk to him. Without realizing it, she had been moved closer to Naruto while trying to figure out what to do. When she did realize, she was just a few trees behind him and getting a good view of him. When did I get this close to him? For the remainder of class, while the other kids were playing basketball and soccer, or just hanging around, Hinata was arguing with herself on what to do. Go for it, say hi to him. Wait a minute, he hasn't moved ever since I came to class. Is he okay? She moved from tree to tree to get a closer look to him. She stepped on a twig and snapped, and like lightning she hid. Still no movement. Go for it, Hinata. She ran towards Naruto and faced him. He's asleep. Thank goodness. I thought he was sick or something. She lifted her delicate hand and touched Naruto's cheek. She stared at his face and lightly blushed. She started to lean forward. She closed her eyes and softly pressed her lips against his. She stayed like that for a while longer and loved every second of it. I love you. Wait, what did I just say? She broke the kiss and covered her mouth. What was I thinking? She looked around to make sure nobody saw. She started to run away when she heard Naruto say something. Hinata. He mumbled in his sleep. She looked back and smiled. Her heart beating happily and filled with joy, she ran back to the locker rooms. On her way back, a girl with pink hair called her. Hey Hinata, where were you? A girl with short pink hair greeted her. She was a slim, small bed girl. Hi Sakura. I was feeling sick, so I just sat out today. She smiled at her. Oh, you're smiling. Did something good happen to you? She said, smiling and poking Hinata's arms. No, nothing happened. Just feel happy is all. She smiled back. Shikamaru entered the locker rooms and went to his locker. He grabbed his towel and wiped away the sweat off of his face. A hand slapped his back. This made him turn around to see who it was. Finally decided to get some exercise. Kiba laughed at him. He had short brown hair and fang-like teeth. No way. I just sat back and stared at the clouds all class long. Shikamaru answered. Then how come you're sweating like that? Kiba asked, looking confused. That's how hot it is. I worked up a sweat sitting still. Shikamaru said, changing back into his school uniform. Well, whatever. See ya around. Kiba said, walking away. Shikamaru finished changing his clothes and saw that Naruto's bag was still there. Is he still outside? He said aloud. He picked up Naruto's and went back outside. He looked across the basketball court and saw no sign of him. Maybe he's still at the track. He walked in the direction of the track and saw Naruto leaning on the tree. Hey Naruto, class is over, time to go. He yelled out. Naruto didn't even move. Come on, get over here. I don't want to walk all the way there. He increased his voice and moved in his direction. Still not moving, what a drag. He ran over to Naruto. He's asleep. How can you fall asleep like that? Better wake him up. He threw Naruto's bag at his chest. Ugh, what's the big idea? Shikamaru, what's up? Where is everybody? He looked around the area. They were the only two people there. Class is over, it'd been over for like 10 minutes. What? Naruto picked up his bag. Gonna be late for class, bye. Wait, what? Let me see your schedule. What for? Naruto asked, running in place. Just give it. Naruto handed over his schedule to Shikamaru. He scanned over it for a bit. Hurry up. Naruto urged him. Don't worry. We're in lunch right now. Shikamaru said as he handed the paper back to Naruto. What do you mean? Naruto questioned him. This school is so big that we have to divide it into 2 lunches. First lunch is for kids who have rooms in the 100 to 400 classrooms. They go to lunch first, and then they go to class. Second lunch is for anyone who has any other classes. They go to their class first, then lunch. Get it? Shikamaru asked him. Yeah, I get it. So how much time do we have for lunch? He asked. We got a whole hour to eat. Wait, let me see the paper again. Shikamaru held out his hand. Sure. Naruto handed it to him. Shikamaru said to himself. What's wrong? Naruto asked, looking worried. Nothing, just looks like you're gonna be in all my classes. He said, once again handing back the paper. Cool. Guess that means no more getting lost for me. Naruto said, now let's go get some lunch. I'm starving here. They entered the cafeteria, which, like the rest of the school, was huge. Every building in this school is huge, isn't it? Naruto said out loud. Shikamaru, who was behind him in line, didn't say a word. After getting his tray, Naruto sat down at the nearest table he could find. He looked at his cheeseburger. The food looks edible, not like my old school. Chow time, he happily said as he took a bite. He looked back and saw Shikamaru walking out the door. He quickly picked up his tray and chased after him. Hey, where you going? It's too noisy for me here. I'm going to eat somewhere else. He answered him. I might as well come with you, don't want to feel like a loser and eat alone. Naruto laughed. They walked into the school's main building and walked up the long flight of stairs. So Shikamaru, are we going to eat in a classroom or something? No, we're going to eat on the roof. He pointed up. It's quiet and peaceful there, and there aren't a lot of people. They climbed one more set of stairs and opened the door to the rooftop. Sure enough, there weren't that many people. At most 10 others. Naruto walked over to the edge. Whoa, nice view, he said, looking over the forest behind the school. Take a seat, Shikamaru said, sitting on the floor in front of the door. Yeah, Naruto sat next to Shikamaru. Now it's chow time. He took a bite out of his burger. Tastes great. And he continued to eat. So Shikamaru, do you usually eat by yourself here? No, it's usually me and my friend Choji. He's not here today though. I'll introduce you to him tomorrow. Hey, how come you changed schools so late in the year? He asked Naruto. My parents, they had the job relocated to this town. So we moved here a few days ago. He said, putting his hand behind his head. Just then he heard the door leading to the roof open. He stopped eating and looked to see who was coming up, but the door quickly shut back. He ignored it and went right back to eating. On the other side of the door sat a frightened Hinata, clutching her chest. He's in my lunch too. How many more times will I see him? Calm down, Hinata. You had the courage to kiss him. Talking to him shouldn't be a problem. She remembered earlier that day when she had gone up to a sleeping Naruto and kissed. That brought a smile to her face. Alright, showtime. She rose to her feet and opened the door. Oh. Hinata, you can do this. Just put one foot in front of the other. She looked up and saw that he was talking to Shikamaru. Good, I can talk to him first and then to him. Hi Shikamaru, she yelled out. The kids stopped what they were doing and looked over at her. Control your voice, calm down. Hinata, how are ya? That was a bit loud though. Hey, I was calling your name right. Naruto waved at her. He's looking right at me, what do I say? Wait, I got it. I'm sorry, but what your name? I can get a conversation going by pretending not to know his name. You're a genius, Hinata. I'm Naruto, he said with the same goofy grin as that morning. Why you took me to the clinic this morning, right? She asked with her face returning to the ground. Yeah, I did. How did you know? He asked. The nurse said that it was a blonde boy, so I kinda figured it was you. Thank you, she said, bowing to Naruto. Sure, don't mention it. Naruto laughed weakly with his hand behind his head. Maybe I can help you now. How? He asked. I can help you find your classes if you want. Hinata said, finally looking up. Thanks, but Shikamaru is already doing that. He said, pointing at him. Hinata looked a bit disappointed. Shikamaru during all this time had been finishing up his lunch. Huh? You said my name. Yeah, we got the same classes after all. Naruto said. With that, Hinata had gone from gloomy to cheery. In that case, we can both show you around. Me and Shikamaru have the same classes too. She exclaimed as she looked into Naruto's eyes. I think I'm starting to blush. Better sit down. She sat down next to Shikamaru. Hinata, it's kind of late now, but sorry for running into you this morning. You didn't get hurt, did you? No, you didn't, she answered him, not looking at him. What's that? You met him before school. Shikamaru cut in. It was nothing, Hinata told him. They finished up their lunches and the bell to go to their next class rang. They walked together into the next class. Where's the teacher? Naruto asked. Don't worry. He's late lot, so just take a seat and wait until he comes. Shikamaru sat in the first seat on the far right of the classroom, and laid back. We have assigned seats in this class, so maybe you should stand and wait till he comes. Hinata told Naruto and quickly took her seat in the middle of the class. Bah, I don't feel like standing. Naruto cried. He walked to the back of the class, and took a seat there. 40 minutes into class, the teacher finally entered the class. It was a tall man with white hair standing up, and his face was covered by a mask. Hey class, sorry I'm a little late today. A little. Naruto stood from his seat and yelled at him. You're 40 minutes late. Looks like we have a new student today. My name is Kakashi Hatake, welcome to reading class. He addressed Naruto. Just then the bell rang. Looks like class is over for today. See you all tomorrow. They then went to their last class of the day, which was next door. The class finished before they knew it. The three kids walked to the school gate and parted ways. Well, I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow, Naruto said and turned to the left. See ya then. Shikamaru turned to the right and walked on home. Hinata stood quiet. Maybe I should say something to him. She ran over to him. Naruto. He turned around. Huh, what is it? I was wondering that maybe you might need some help finding your first class in the morning. So if you want, we can meet up in front of the school before school. She was playing with her fingers and looking down. Sure, thanks a bunch. You're awesome. See you in the morning. He walked away. She looked up and stared at him as he walked. Awesome. He thinks I'm awesome. She waved at him, turned around and then ran home with a smile on her face. Hinata sprinted towards the school, gasping heavily. Got to hurry up. He might already be waiting for me. She stopped at a red light to catch her breath. She took out her phone to check the time. It's only 7 o'clock. Calm down, catch your breath. She took a deep breath and waited for the light to turn green. When it did, she crossed the street and stopped in front of the school gates. She passed through them and looked around the crowd, hoping to spot Naruto. She looked at the school statue, which was in the shape of a giant diamond. Right below sat Naruto on the bench, staring up at the sky. There he is, she whispered to herself. Naruto, over here, she yelled out as she walked up to him. Naruto looked over to her. Hey Hinata, good morning. He got up and walked over to her, waving. Good morning to you too. No stuttering, no looking down, no playing with your fingers. Yes, I can relax around him. She also walked over to him. They met up and stood in front of each other. Were you here long? Hinata asked him. Not really, I just got here 5 minutes ago. Glad you showed up though. Oh, yeah, I was already of boredom. At least now I got someone to talk to. Hinata giggled softly. Why don't we go take a seat in the shade? They walked over to a large tree in the west of the entrance. They sat in the cool shade. Naruto. She looked at him. He looked right back at her. Yeah. Are you buying lunch today? She asked weakly. Oh no, I'm losing it again. That's a weird thing to ask. Yeah, I am. I got my money right here. He stood up and searched his pockets frantically, turning them inside out. Gah, I forgot my money at home. I better run home and get it. He got ready to run back home. Wait, Hinata stopped him. What is it? He asked her. She reached into her bag. I accidentally brought an extra lunch today, you can have it if you want. She held it out in front of her. Thanks a lot, Hinata. He sat back down next to her. He took the lunch and put in his backpack. Hey Hinata, can I ask you something? Sure, anything. Naruto stared into her eyes, which made her blush a little. Are you seeing anyone right now? Hinata's face reddened, as she started looking scared. No. I'm not. Is he going to ask me out? What do I do? She started breathing uncontrollably. Good. In that case, will you go out with me? He whispered to her. A huge smile ran across her face. Yes, of course I will, she shouted out. Shut up, a voice yelled, as a pillow went flying across the room. Ugh, the pillow hit Hinata in the face, and she fell to the floor in the dark room. What happened? She asked, rising from the floor, rubbing her head. Damn, you've been talking in your sleep all night. A small girl sat on her bed on the other side of the large room. Who's Naruto? She smirked. Your boyfriend. She laughed. Be quiet, Hanabi. Hinata whispered, shouted, embarrassed. Naruto, I made a lunch for you. Oh Naruto, I love you. Hanabi mocked her older sister. I told you to shut up. Hinata, now mad, threw the pillow back at her. The pillow hit Hanabi in the face. Whatever, she placed under her head. I'm going back to sleep. Try not to talk so loud about your boyfriend. She giggled and fell asleep. Hinata climbed back onto her bed, and stared at the ceiling. Naruto. I'm dreaming about him already. I must be obsessed with him or something. She looked over at the clock on her left. It's only 3:15. School doesn't start for another 4 hours. I better go back to sleep. She turned over on her side and drifted off to sleep. Hinata awoke to her noisy alarm clock. She turned it off and rubbed the sleep out of her eyes. She got up and stretched, then walked out of the room. She grabbed her towel and headed for the bathroom. After a quick shower, she got dressed in her usual schoolgirl uniform, navy blue skirt and a white sailor shirt. She walked downstairs into the kitchen. Once there, she made a light breakfast, toast and a glass of orange juice before preparing her lunch for the day. She packed everything she needed into her bag and walked to the door, but stopped as she reached for the doorknob. Maybe I should make a lunch for Naruto. Who am I kidding? Like what happened in my dream could happen in real life. She bit her lip lightly as she tried to make up her mind. She looked over to the clock on the wall. I still have plenty of time to make it and be early for school. Oh, Kale, do it might have a chance of happening. She walked over to the counter and started making a second lunch. The early morning sun hit her face as she walked to school. She arrived at the school gates and immediately started scanning for Naruto. She looked over the statue and sure enough, like in her dream, he was there sitting under it staring up at the sky. Hello Naruto, she said weakly. No louder. Don't be afraid. She walked up to him. Good morning Naruto. She yelled out in front of him. Naruto fell back surprised. Whoa, Hinata, you're a bit loud. I'm sorry. Are you hurt? She asked concerned. Nah, I'm fine. Well anyways, good morning. He said, climbing back to his seat. Good morning to you too. Were you here long? She asked, sitting down next to him. Nope, I just got here a short while ago, and I'm glad you showed up. Oh, she said, getting a feeling of deja vu. Yeah, I was already of boredom. At least now I got someone to talk to. That's what he said in my dream. Maybe everything will happen like in it. Naruto, do you want to go somewhere else? Where it's no so crowded? She asked him. Naruto looked around the front of the school to see that it had gotten crowded in the last few minutes. Sure, but where to? We could go to the library, it's quiet in there and not many people go there. Lead the way. Naruto gestured with his hand. Hinata got up and started walking to the small building to the right of the school's main building. They entered and found hardly anyone there. The few people that were there were either on the computers or in the back trying to finish their homework. Let's grab a seat in the back, Naruto told Hinata. Hinata followed behind him. Ask him about lunch. Naruto, are you going to buy lunch today? That's a weird thing to ask. He said, raising his eyebrow. Yeah, I am. Hinata looked down in disappointment. I got my money right here. He reached into his pockets but pulled nothing out. Don't tell me I forgot it. He threw his book bag on the table and looked through all the pockets. While he was searching, Hinata smiled to herself. This is almost like my dream. We are in a different place, but it's happening like it. Naruto calmed down. I gotta run back home. He told her. Wait, what is it? He asked. I gotta hurry before school starts. I brought an extra lunch by mistake. She reached into her backpack. You can have it if you want, she said as she held it in front of her looking down. Thanks Hinata. You're a lifesaver. He reached for the boxed lunch. Hey Hinata, can I ask you something? Hinata's eyes widened as her heart began to pound faster. Why yes. This is it. This is where he asked me out in my dream. I can't believe it actually happened. This is unbelievable. It's like something out of a manga. Is that you Naruto? A voice cut him off. They both turned around and saw Shikamaru sitting at a table in the back. He stood up, yawned, and began to stretch. What are you guys doing here? He yawned. It's way too crowded outside. So we came in here. What about you? Naruto asked. I like to come in here every morning and take a quick nap. He said, scratching the back of his head. He walked over to them. Hinata, you're here too. Well, let's all go to class. The bell hasn't rung yet though. Naruto informed him. It will. In 5, 4, 3, 2. As soon as he said that, the school bell rung. How did you know? I got the school and my watch perfectly synchronized. He pointed to his watch on his left wrist. Now let's go. He walked out the door. Naruto. What were you going to ask me? Hinata sheepishly said. Don't worry about it, I'll ask you later. He told as he followed Shikamaru. Oh. Alright, she said in a low voice. Shikamaru, why did he have to show up? He was about to ask me out. I think. She snapped out of her thoughts and caught up with the guys. They walked into the main building. Are we the only ones here? Naruto asked them. Outside. They rather stay outside till it's almost time for class. So why are we going to class so early? Do you really want to walk through crowds of people to get to class? Good point, Naruto said. They walked through the empty hallways. Naruto looked at all the posters and bulletin boards that hung on the walls. Advertising clubs and fundraisers. When one caught Naruto's eye. Shikamaru, do you really sleep there every morning? Hinata asked him. Yup. Well Naruto, our next class is art. We don't do much there, so don't worry. He looked behind him. Naruto was several feet away from them, staring at a poster. Yo, let's go, he yelled at Naruto. Ha, oh coming. He stepped away from the poster and ran to catch up to his friends. At the same time a door opened up near him and out walked Sasuke. Naruto didn't see him and ran into him, pushing him down. What the hell is wrong with you? Watch where you're going, he yelled at Naruto. Sorry, I didn't see you there. He held out his hand to help him up. I don't need your help, he coldly remarked and pushed his hand away, and got to his feet. Naruto got a bit irritated and said, I just tried to help you up. I don't need help from weaklings like you. He walked past Naruto, pushing him to the side. Watch who you're calling a weakling. I can kick your ass any day of the year, Naruto yelled, forming a fist. Please, you wouldn't even be able to lay hand on me. I'm the best there is here. Know your place around here. That's it. Naruto, fed up with Sasuke's comments, punched him straight in the face. Sasuke fell to the floor, covering his face. Shikamaru and Hinata stood frozen. He hit Sasuke. Hinata gasped. No one's been able to do that. Shikamaru ran over to Naruto, grabbed him and pulled him away. Let's go before someone sees what happened. They ran down the hallway to their class. Sasuke rose from the floor. No one saw. I'll get that punk some other time, he said, wiping some blood from his lip. He walked away from the scene. Outside behind a bush sat Sakura, looking through the window, grinning. I just got an idea, she said to herself as she closed her cell phone. That will be all for this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below for more videos. Goodbye.